continue a quest for the best coffee shop in town, I decided to go to the South Lake Union. This is a really nice place. It's kind of a hub of tech company offices. And so the three coffee shops I wanted to go to today, one is called Mr. West, and I've seen it consistently on many reviews. The second is called Artley Cafe. They have a few different locations. I wanted to check their main one, which is close to the Pike Place Market. And then the third one has a very beautiful space, and it's a good place to come for work. And they're all located 10 minutes away from each other. And so it's kind of a good plan for a day to just go there and check all these places out and figure out which one is the best. So I really love the design of this place. It's probably one of my favorite designs so far. We're currently at South Lake Union, and this area has a long industrial history. It started in 19th century as sawmills. It also had a coal plant, production, the boats industry, and transportation. This is also the place where in 1916 William Boeing launched his first airplane. And today is a booming hub of tech companies and biotech industry. Across this park you have the Google offices. Behind me you can see the military armory that underwent a major transformation as well, and in 2012 it was reopened as the Museum of Industry and Technology. It's a beautiful area with a lot of walkability, restaurants, coffee places. It's also a seaplane hub. And you also have a lot of green space, so you have a South Lake Union Park, and on the opposite side of the lake you have a Gasworks Park, which was a former site of an oil refinery that was transformed into a park. It has 20 acres of green space, picnic places, and also amazing views of Seattle skyline. And one of the less historical but more fun fact, the house that was featured in Sleepless in Seattle is actually located on the lake, and I thought it would be fun to go check it out. Behind me you can see the famous boathouse from Sleepless in Seattle, and it's really pretty because it's right on the lake and it sits kind of on the water. And the house is not actually a boathouse, but it's a floating house, and there's a whole bunch of them. So this was actual filming location for all the outside scenes in the movie. These are the few scenes that I found where you can best recognize the house. So there was the scene with Meg Ryan walking towards the deck. There was the night scenes with Tom Hanks and a couple shot from the water. And actually finding this house from the water is one of the easiest ways because this is a private property. There is a few different houses, but they are actual houses where people live in. And so the only way to get close up is by knowing somebody who lives there, or maybe you're lucky enough to know the owners. Speaking of which, this house was actually sold for $2 million. They have remodeled it since, so it doesn't look exactly like in the movie. The inside, though, wasn't shot on location. It was shot in the studio. Myself, I've only been able to see it from the outside, but there's actually a video tour that I found on the internet, which gives you a little bit of a glimpse of what it looks like. If you're also a film fan and you want to see this place for yourself, my best recommendation is to book a boat tour where you can see this house from the water. This is the most beautiful perspective, and this is the easiest way to get access to it. Today we're checking a very unique coffee location. So it's the first coffee that is entirely prepared by a robot, and the way they call it is the first AI barista bot. It's one of the two locations and I haven't tried yet, and I'm super curious to see if it's better, worse, or just as good as the classic barista prepared shop. Let's go check it out.
Hey, your latte is ready. It was my pleasure to serve you.
Okay, time to try it. If I had to give it a note out of 10, I would say it's probably a 7. It's a very good texture of milk and beautiful latte art. The reason I give this note is mostly for the taste, and I don't think it has to do with the robot preparing it, but rather with the choice of beans, and it's just not my personal preference. But other than that, it's a really good coffee, and it's definitely a really cool experience. Also impressive that the robot can do coffee from start to finish. I mean, I guess when you come here for the first time, it's a super curious process. Just like they also did a very good job in coordinating the movements and giving the robots the names, so it almost feels like it's sort of human in a way. Totally recommend coming here at least once. And if you wanna, and if it's like your regular coffee corner, you can actually order on the mobile app and it will tell you when it's ready, and you just come up and there is your name with a drink ready to go. Got to Mr. West, it's just behind me. This place is a mix of coffee bar and the actual bar, so they have a lot of focus on crafting their drinks, but also mixing them in a way that it looks like a cocktail. I'm most excited about their menu because I'm very hungry, so let's go inside. So welcome to Mr. West. I just got my plate and I ordered Turkish eggs. They look delicious. And a cappuccino. And I also set my eyes on panna cotta. It looked really delicious, and I hope I have enough room for the dessert after this. So let's try and see how good it is. The other cool thing about this place, once you're done with whatever food you had, if you want something else, you just scan QR code and you can add it to the order. So I wanted to get this panna cotta that I really liked. Okay, so I got the panna cotta. The thing I liked about it is just like the serving. It's so pretty in this little like coffee cup. It's really good. It's the last day in Seattle, and I do my least favorite task is packing. We are decided to take a small break and just go to this place called Champagne Diner. It looked really nice, and it was something that a friend recommended for a brunch, so we just wanted to kind of shift gears a little bit and take a break. So we came here and asking about how long it's been open and all of that, and then we learned that it's closing down in 2 weeks. It's a pity because the place is very bright and airy, and it feels like a nice place to come for a brunch. But yeah, apparently because of the location, it's not like you can just walk by and spot it. It's really you need to know about it and drive to it. So this is kind of the main reason it's sort of hidden. Yeah, anyway, it looked really tasty on photos. We ordered avocado toast. It didn't come yet. So waiting for my avocado toast. It's the last evening in Seattle. I'm flying back tomorrow. This concludes 1 month in Seattle, and I just wanted to list the things that I really liked and things that I maybe liked less. One thing I really enjoyed in this trip is the walkability of Seattle. That was a good surprise. I think a big part of it is where the apartment is located. We were very lucky to land in this building. It's just 2 steps away from Space Needle, and it also has 3 other areas of Seattle, Queen Anne, South Lake Union, and downtown that are under 30 minutes walk from the apartment. And so I had more chance to explore the city on my own, and it felt really nice and safe, unlike San Francisco. And again, it's not really fair comparison because in San Francisco we stayed in the area that is kind of known to be less nice. But nevertheless, I still felt like Seattle is much more walkable, especially like this area close to Space Needle, South Lake Union, and Queen Anne. And the other good surprise was this sort of neighborhood feel and this outside of a city feel in the areas like Queen Anne and South Lake Union. Where we are doesn't feel exactly like this, just because we're kind of close to the touristy attraction, and then we have big roads not far from the house, but it still felt very calm and serene, not something you would expect from a downtown in the United States. So this was a cool surprise. And we had an amazing weather for Seattle. I only came in winter, and I remember it being very gray, and this is kind of, when you ask people what do you not like about Seattle, the weather comes up quite often. And the time we came, I think it was really nice because this is spring, it's beginning of spring, so it's not like super warm, but we had a couple of really nice weekends when it was almost summer weather, and then there is a lot of flowers that are blooming, so it adds this magic atmosphere. Obviously I can't really give a fair comparison with San Francisco because the time we went there wasn't like comparable to this one, but overall it just felt nice. I don't know how to explain, but it was calm. It was like you have enough things to discover, and you can discover a lot on foot, and you can feel very comfortable like using a bike or being on foot. And I didn't have the same feeling in San Francisco. Maybe I was discovering it wrong. So if you had a different experience or have some advice of how to feel like homier in San Francisco, please let me know. The apartment we had in Seattle was from a different short-term company. It's called The Landing, and they are much bigger in Seattle. And actually the one we used in San Francisco, we tried to find an apartment with them here, but turns out they went out of business, unfortunately, so we really liked them. Well, we only used them once, but Landing is a similar one, and I will do again a separate episode on comparing the two, just the apartments and what you get for it. Yeah, I think again we were very lucky with the unit. We had this amazing view from the apartment. We have this like nice rooftop and plenty of other amenities in the building, and it obviously makes for a better experience. And then across the street we also have very nice coffee shop, which makes you instantly feel, I don't know how to say, but like cozy in the city, and it feels like home even though it's not. The coffee scene is much more varied in Seattle. It makes a lot of sense because Seattle is known as a coffee capital of the United States. Well, Starbucks started here, and it's kind of pioneered this coffee culture. So today many claim that it's still the city in the United States where the most coffee is consumed. It's also a thing in San Francisco, but what I've noticed, or at least the places where I went, they were much more, say, welcoming in Seattle. You just have a lot of apartment buildings or office buildings that have them on the ground floor, and it offers more space, and you can always see people sitting there and working. It's just much, I don't know how to say, it's just much more casual, but in a good way. And in San Francisco there is a lot of blue bottle coffees, which are nice, but they don't feel as, I would say, cozy or casual or like co-working kind of style. again, maybe I didn't go to the right ones, but we went to probably like 10 different places to try coffee in San Francisco, and here I went to maybe like 15, and overall I felt like the ones in Seattle are kind of I don't want to say nicer, but they have more of this co-working coffee shop culture, which is really nice. And I will make a separate episode on coffee shops specifically in Seattle, so stay tuned for this one. Overall, it was a very positive experience, so I have trouble finding, like, if I had to be picky and like think of the things that I liked a little less, parts were some in downtown, and it was only on certain days. So I went there on public holiday, and I was actually pretty surprised in a bad way that the same streets where I walked, they seemed like suddenly transformed into the drug dealer streets, which felt a little unsettling. Again, you just like go through and usually nothing happens, but yeah, I'm on the lookout of the swings just because I was warned about them, and I said, like, I was told that this is like something to avoid basically. But other than that, like, most of the areas where I walked felt really safe and like very calm and serene. And but now I kind of think that coming back to Seattle can be a good idea, especially in summer. I mean, in winter I didn't quite like it, but in summer it can be a good idea. So I think that kind of wraps up this month living in here, and I'm definitely looking forward to explore more. Tomorrow I'm flying back to Paris, so I'll see you back in Europe, and then we'll keep you posted on where's gonna be our next city in the US.